Yeah, Binal and Mishu are having their snacks. Maybe dinner. Both are. No? Yeah. With Basabdi, any contribution?
I don't think so.
No contribution.
I don't think so. Not yet.
Okay.
I was very curious about that. The difference between innovation and discovery, but I need to think about that to make a comment or something. So I know the difference definition wise. So yeah. Mm.
Yeah, that's definitely one point we may relook at it.
Another thing I have to think about what you told about my gaining back strength is you were saying that I have the same level of strength, but it is engaged elsewhere. So I am not, I am thinking that I am not strong enough. Is it?
Yeah, physically it is not being sensed so strong, but
Uh,
it is operating within. That's what is this recovery within an organism happens. The energy, overall energy, whatsoever the quotient that you have, is engaged at the physiological level, and organisms are structured to recover in most
So
possible
because
ways.
the repair of wear and tear are happening, which usually doesn't happen on daily at that level, I am feeling that I am not strong enough yet.
Yes,
Is it
yes,
so?
yes, yes. Even that's a beautiful understanding that you brought in here. Like if suppose I am in chronic condition.
Right.
Yeah. So chronic condition means I don't have enough energy to
Hmm.
throw the toxins which is accumulated within the body.
Hmm.
In that condition, the body is not having the support of conserved vitality to throw the toxin.
Hmm.
So in that state, at the surface level, the quota that you are sensing at the physical level, the quota of vitality that you are sensing could be higher comparing, and is higher, in fact, not could be, there's no doubt about it, comparing to an acute condition. An acute condition at the surface level, the energy quota will be very less, but the body is very vital. The temperature is higher, and a lot of eliminations are happening. So at that level, all these works need a lot of vitality, and body could achieve that level of vitality to do this elimination, this spatial elimination. So if we compare these two states, one is the chronic and another is acute, at the physical level, there will be very lack of energies in the acute condition. Comparing to that, at the chronic condition, you have a higher sense of energy at the surface level. Are you able to comprehend this difference?
Yeah, what I see in my case is, as you know, I have chronic condition,
We
and
do.
I
We
didn't
all
have.
do have. Yeah, we all do
Uh,
have. Yes,
yes, but
yes.
the level
We
differs,
don't
right?
know. We don't know. We don't know. We cannot compare. That your
Okay.
level is higher chronic, my level is lesser chronic. We cannot. Yes. Go on, please.
Okay, so no, then I am confused now. So I understand we all have chronic condition, definition wise. Yeah, okay. But
Yes.
then what I have, you are aware what condition I have, right? For last 20 years.
I'm not. I'm
That
not. Like you have
fibromyalgia.
shared
What
something.
I'm saying
Yeah.
is that
Yeah,
fibromyalgia,
yeah.
where I have a
You
lot
have
of
shared
body pain
something, but
and all that.
exactly I cannot know. That's what I mean.
Oh,
So verbally,
exactly. So
I
I
have
also
heard.
can't. I don't know also. Nothing can
Yes.
be known exactly, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, last few years I didn't have any ailment or fever and all anything, right? So after being aware of the nature cure, what nature cure says, I realized that most probably my body didn't have enough energy to engage in throwing out the toxin out of my body.
Yes.
So now when I got fever, I was happy and you congratulated me. And I was also really happy that, okay, so now whatever toxin is there, and whenever the sweating, chills and everything, I saw it as, my body throwing up this thing.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, usually I am always low energy in the, you say that we cannot compare, but see, I can't work on my daily chores. I cannot do whatever I want to do, and what I achieve is very less, and I'm frustrated. So uh, I understand it is not okay to compare, but then I'm not happy with this, and it goes down and down with years or something. Then what to do? Like, what is the way to go?
Right. So right now, the current situation you are talking about, or otherwise situation?
Otherwise situation, if I don't
Otherwise.
understand, then I will not be able to talk about current situation.
Right. So you are talking about the. Are you talking about the current situation also being compared to otherwise situation?
No,
No.
let me understand the otherwise situation only.
Otherwise situation. Right.
Yeah.
So otherwise situation. Suppose a chronic condition individual is going on,
Hmm.
and it's a depleting. It's a
Hmm.
depleting state only.
Hmm.
So it is deteriorating day by day, the engagement in the house chores or any particular activity per se, the eyesight or
Hmm.
the hearing capability, that is
Hmm.
deteriorating. It's a
Hmm.
sign of chronic condition,
Hmm.
and you may start considering that before the age my hearing capability has gone, is reducing or something like that, or
Okay.
seeing capability is reducing. So
Hmm.
how one will perceive that in an inquiring situation, in
Yes.
inquiring framework, suppose, how
Hmm.
one will perceive these. So one is this, that this particular problem, what I am considering as a problem, can be solved externally, like putting a specs, putting a hearing aid. So those two capabilities I've just picked up for easy understanding. So how am I picking up those aids? How am I picking up those aids? So if we understand the life at the death, then we'll understand that the life will strive to recover as much as possible for its all capabilities. If not, then the death will come, which is in any way going to come.
Yes.
Right? So when we are clear about these facts, then we have to be clear about these deteriorations also.
Hmm.
The kind of muscular strength that I had in the young age will be deteriorating slowly and gradually, and I'll die.
Hmm.
So how am I going to adjust with it will not be of any question, because it is a natural progression and you have identified that fact.
Hmm.
Are you able to understand the psychological framework here? One is
When you
that I
say
have
natural
created a,
progression,
yes,
yeah, that natural,
yes.
yeah. So why
So
do you
this
say natural?
deterioration, this deterioration is a natural progression. Now, in
Okay.
my case,
Okay.
this
Okay. Hmm.
this deterioration has occurred at this time. Now, this is before time, or comparing to others, it is later. That's absolutely my comparison, my way of concluding the things.
Right.
But actually, it is happening when it is to happen naturally.
Okay.
No.
So do you think it is unnatural when, say, 15-year-old has deteriorating life energy?
Hmm.
So you say we should not compare, but I think what you say is there is can there be an average age? When you say that with age, we
No,
think
no.
that it will, no.
There cannot be. There cannot be any comparison of an individual age with the average age, so called. That's a statistics. That's a job of the statisticians. You have watched this movie, Don't Look Up.
I did,
Have
yeah.
you? Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, how many of you have watched this movie? Anybody? Binal? Right? Okay, Vijay hasn't. Meenu?
Which movie, sir?
Don't Look Up.
No, I haven't seen.
Okay. So, for Vijay, I'll just briefly, though we are overshooting the time, I said that 10 to 15 minutes, but we are overshooting. I'm okay with it. We're just chit chatting. Just in case anybody wish to leave, can leave, has got some work or something. So let me give you a brief idea about the story. It's a story, it's a science fiction where an asteroid is going to hit the Earth. You understand this? An asteroid is
Yes,
going
sir.
to hit the Earth, and a scientist could reveal it before it has happened mathematically. Are you able to comprehend, Vijay?
No, sir.
It's a scenario where astronauts found that an asteroid, it's an asteroid, right?
Correct, correct.
What is it called? An asteroid. You understand asteroid,
Yeah.
right? So an asteroid was coming towards Earth and it was about to hit the Earth. And that hitting would be a devastating hitting. So Earth will be completely shattered with that asteroid.
Okay.
This is the scenario. The start of the movie is this one. That the scientists, a group of scientists, got this information through the actual information that asteroid is coming towards the Earth, and they mathematically calculated how much time it would take to hit the Earth. So they took this information to the leaders and to find out a strategy to avoid it. Ultimately, they could not, and Earth is hit by that, and a few people who are topmost leaders, and because of lot many political drama, this got delayed. Some strategies were sketched out, but it was not executed, and all those stories went on. And at the end of the story, the Earth got hit, it got shattered, and a few people, 10 people or 15 people, they in a spacecraft, they landed to another planet, escaping Earth during that situation. So, and they got eaten by the creatures of that planet immediately after they landed. You understand the story? Hello? All videos are frozen. Vijay, you could understand the story? Somewhat? Vijay's video is frozen. Okay. Vijay?
Yeah, but the voice is breaking.
Okay, your network maybe is a little shaky. So here, Vasabdi, let's come back to our discussion. It was just renewed to Vijay about the story. So here you see, what would be a rational state of being for an individual when the Qayamat has arrived? This is one of the biggest questions being addressed in that movie.
I think there is to see it in a rational way. After watching the movie, I was also thinking this is very true. It may not be the comet. It may be the the climate.
Yeah, comet is the word.
Yeah. So the comet was just a symbol, right?
Allegory. Yeah.
Allegory. Yeah. So
So now that comet can be aging
Yeah.
or my deterioration of my capabilities.
Okay.
You
Okay.
understand? So how do I look at it?
I have to
How
accept
do I
it.
look at it?
I have to accept
Wha-
it.
How? How? How am I accepting it? What is the acceptance? What is the term acceptance here? It's a very critical thing, you know.
See, when you compare those two things, I have to first understand that in Don't Look Up, I'm very sure that that was 100%. Okay. So it was coming. Just because of the fact that it was 99.78%. Okay. So the politicians were saying this is a relief that it is not 100%. So they were negotiating, let us keep it at 60 or 70 or something. All that, what do you call, the manipulation of data and all that. But in the comet situation, I will accept it. Okay, this is the calculation and we can see it coming. We can measure the speed of it coming towards Earth and everything. So yeah. But the thing is, when you are saying that the condition, the chronic condition is a comet, I don't understand fully, because I know the mechanism how the comet is coming and hitting the Earth and everything, okay, by the calculation. But here it is a bit abstract. I don't know why it is happening. And if it is the natural aging process, I of course understand and I fully accept. And I can tell you also what does it mean when I say it is, I accept it.
So when I say something natural, I have a reference for that. I'm going with a reference, right?
Right.
Can I stay without reference? Then everything is natural for me, isn't it?
Yeah. If it was, say, if it was happening to everybody around me, I wouldn't be
Then
concerned.
also you're not reference free. What I'm
No,
proposing to
then
you.
I am not reference free. Then also it is. But I'm saying how I will react is very different. So hence the importance of the reference.
In both the ways, I am reacting to the comparisons.
True.
Let's try and
That there is
understand.
a scale. It should happen this way. If
Yes,
that is removed.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we are talking about that,
Okay.
and the impact of this structurally, you know, the intervention. We were talking about the other day about the intervention. Now, intervention, exploration is something else, and intervention is a conclusion. When based on our exploration, we decide an intervention. Try and
Right.
understand this. That's a conclusion, actually.
Yes.
What is that conclusion? That whatever we have explored is a great exploration, is a great conclusive exploration. That's what is the subtle meaning of any intervention.
Yeah, you are saying it's not ongoing. We have temporarily or permanently stopped, taken a decision. That's what
Based on our past exploration, based on our, because any scientific so-called quote unquote intervention is based on the exploration, and the explorations are always dynamic. There is no static point of the exploration.
True. Yep.
Any organism is structured to explore the things. That's what is the inquiry. Inquiry based, the inquiry means exploring the things. Now, based on the inquiry, if we conclude the things, that's very limited decision. Any conclusion is a limited by itself, cannot be claimed as a whole, any conclusion at any point, because it is yet to be completed. The whole is yet to be completed. So how can we intervene the whole with a limited exploration? And exploration is always limited. Can we understand this?
So are you saying, in other words, there should not be any intervention?
I'm not saying that. That's the individual's decision whether to intervene or not. But whether I am intervening or not, the intervening means it is concluding before time. It is being concluded before time. I'm not proposing any decision here.
No, I
That would be
understand.
another conclusion. That would be another conclusion. But let's try and understand the meaning of intervention to start with.
So is it possible that there is intervention also and the exploration also is ongoing?
There could be, but any bits and pieces of intervention is limited by its characteristic whatsoever. We can carry on with the exploration. That's what the science is claiming to do. But it is doing lot of intervention in between. That's what so-called science is doing, right? So-called science around us. They are exploring and simultaneously they are intervening also. And those interventions, well, let's try and understand what is an intervention. Intervention is a limited conclusion. Conclusion is always limited. So now let's not end there. Let's go a little deeper. Now the organisms are equipped with the natural response to the situation moment to moment. Organisms are equipped with the natural responses moment to moment. And for that, we need not to plan an intervention. If we plan an intervention, the natural response is affected. Because any condition, and when we are putting a condition, the natural response is no more natural. It is a conditional response. Are you able to complete?
So I have another question now, which is the exploration, the ongoing, forever ongoing exploration. Is that also natural for any organism?
Yes, yes. If the organism is alive, supported by its own structure, it will keep on exploring. Be it anything, a dog, a cat, a fly, a human being. Supported with their respective structure, neural structure and overall structure. You'll see, you just drop a piece of cloth in front of a cat, the cat will just do it like playfully, will be trying to explore it, isn't it?
Yeah, but when we are talking about human beings exploration, that is very different from
no different as a knack. No different as a knack. Now, still as a knack, but as a structural, the exploration is far deeper. Perhaps we may claim so. Why we claim so? Because we change the surroundings mathematically more than the other creatures like cats and dogs. So, but otherwise, as a knack, there is no difference at all. No matter how big we claim that we change it, but in respect to the universe, this change is very miniature change, and it doesn't matter at all to the universe. Do we identify this fact or not? That's a very big question that we need to ask.
No, when in all our discussions, this exploration is one of the main things, right? We are in the inquiry process. What we are doing is exploration. Okay, so can you give me a typical?
Sorry to intervene, but sorry to interrupt rather. That can we explore without intervening? This also I have intervened. This also I have intervened, by the way. Can we keep on exploring without intervention? That's one of the biggest questions that we need to ask ourselves. But I intervened your comment. Can you please repeat?
So this exploration, like you for the cat example you gave, that a cloth is hanging and it is trying to figure out what is happening. That is the cat's exploration. Okay, for us, the people who are actively knowingly inquiring in this group, okay, what will be a typical example of an exploration without stopping or intervening or interfering with what is happening, just observing, right?
Yes. And that observation, by the way, that observation will bring natural responses moment to moment. We need not to plan for it. If we plan, then we will actually curb that natural response.
Hmm.
That's what we need to
To
understand.
plan is to restrict.
Yes, the planning would be leading to restriction. Because of that, again, psychological attachment towards the planning, which will block our observation, and that observation will actually lead us to miss a lot of facts in front of us, which was otherwise been revealed by us.
So all that we have learned, we have to unlearn a lot to let go of that.
Yes, so it can be unlearned instantly. We need not to plan an unlearning also.
Yeah.
It can be unlearned instantly when you have that particular state of being,
Hmm.
state of being, to look at everything skeptically,
Mm-hmm.
not the demeaning skepticism
No,
you're talking about.
understand.
You understand that?
Examining.
Yes, with the examining eye, with the questioning mind, when we start looking at it, and that can happen instantly. For that, no planning, no practice, no preparation is needed.
Hmm.
So it will relieve us instantly from suffering. But action wise, the irrationalities will go slowly and gradually, perhaps. It may go suddenly, instantly, but there is no assurance of stoppage of the irrational actions. Try and understand. Irrational actions many a time are the reflections of cellular memory when you are used to it,
Hmm.
and which we carry from ages, carry from ancestors also.
Like the cell memory or something.
Yes, cellular memory. Cellular
Hmm.
memory from generation to generation is carried. So we
Yes.
may end up committing or continuing a lot of irrational action.
Hmm.
But internally, we can be relieved of suffering of those actions. And slowly and gradually, those actions also will dissolve.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Great. Should we call it a day? That note? Any point? Any reflection? Anyone?
I just
Yes,
wanted for my clarity, if I'm understanding this. So there is one person I know, he's 10-year-old boy who has already gray hair. Now, if that the child or the child's parents start comparing it with that age group, that it's too early, premature graying that has happened, then that yardstick itself creates a so-called problem. So, or can one look at it that in general this is not the age, like a mathematical way of looking at it, without creating a sensation that this is not generally seen in this age, and yet let's see how it's going. I'm just wondering that can one look at it as it's not usual, or should one even discard that yardstick of that?
Yeah, see, the parental influence play a role for sure for the child. But despite that, the child, when grows up, can instantly start observing it and can relieve himself from that
But
particular
how does
influence.
one look at it? My question is that should one,
Child or the parent?
I'm just saying in general, for any situation which is not, for example,
Comparison itself is a burden.
so
Comparison.
it's the proposal is to discard the yardstick of reference, or
Yeah, so how one will discard? That's also another question, right? Like if someone is in a habit of comparing, now suddenly if action-wise that comparison is stopped, then it is not stopped. So we need to understand that what is the processing of that yardstick, which one otherwise uses, how that is stopped now, or how the impact of that is stopped first. Then the actual comparison will gradually stop. This is the natural process. So that thing, like why, so the uniqueness, the newness of the moment, all this understanding will lead individual to look at it with questioning mind, the questioning knack. Then only this comparison will be meaningless. Will that state has to arrive, when the comparison becomes meaningless. So before I go to Vijay's comment, let me share this morning what happened. There was an app few days back, one of my nephews brought in, which was installed on Montage mobile. Now, in that, what happens? Anybody's picture you upload, then they will overlap some Hindi song or English song, and through some AI, this mouth portion is changed, and that song seemingly is sung by that individual. Have you guys seen that app? So I forgot the name of the app. So that video,
Wombo or something.
maybe. So that video Montage was watching. Now Montage's upper teeth have gone completely. It's eroded. There was an accident at the early age, but after that, she continued the breast milk till 5.5 years. So it's an impact of that also seemingly. Somehow the upper jaw, hardly there are teeth. So now in that particular video which came up from the app was having full teeth, right? So she said that I don't have that beautiful teeth. I don't have that beautiful teeth. So you see the comparison here? I don't have this kind of teeth would have been something else. Now she started identifying that the grown-up teeth is a beauty, is considered commonly as beauty. So she uttered this. So I don't know from where the influence has come, but this is influencing, and this is very obvious. You cannot block it. Like being a very neutral parent, also you cannot ensure that the child will not be influenced. The child will be influenced in any way, and many ways. So it's ultimately, if the child rekindle the inquiry, then only will be relieved from the impact of the comparison. Ultimately, it's the individuals. Yeah, Basu.
Yeah. So when she's saying that I don't have that beautiful teeth, that is a comparison. But if she says very objectively that those teeth are very different from what
Yes.
I have, that
Yes.
is
That's
also
very
a
much
comparison.
rational. No, that's a rational identification of the difference, of the uniqueness.
No,
The
that I
beauty-
agree. One is that beauty thing. I am not going to that level. Suppose Montaj said that what I am looking at the screen, that full teeth is different from what I am actually having. That's a
Yes.
very objective observation. That's
Yes,
true
yes.
also. But that there
Yes.
is comparison, right? That's also
Yes, yes.
comparison.
This comparison is very much rational comparison, which doesn't impact at the physiological sensation.
That's true. That's true. That doesn't give she's feeling negative or positive about that. That is just an observation.
Yeah, Vijay's phone is going to be switched off. Yeah, Vijay, over to you, please, quickly. Then we'll continue, Basu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So you and Basubda Datta mentioned that planning is restriction, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
for me, I am planning to gain weight. So how that can be a restriction, because when I have lost some 20 kgs on natural diet, and while sitting also it's pain in the ass, because there is no muscle over there. So I'm planning to gain some little weight. So how that can be, a restriction for me. So this can be
Restriction
picked
of
up.
the natural movement.
Yeah,
Restriction
this
of the
can be
natural
picked up afterwards also, or in the chat.
Yes, we can. But otherwise, let me briefly address this. Suppose you got a strategy to gain weight. Strategy to gain weight.
Naturally. Yeah. With
How can
all
you
the
gain it? Naturally,
prerequisites.
gaining weight cannot be offered as a target. That cannot be claimed naturally. Naturally, gaining weight could be a byproduct. Are you able to compare this? If it is a natural way, then gaining weight will be a byproduct in the process. If you are targeting the gaining weight, then it is a conditional approach. It is not a natural approach. Are you able to comprehend the difference between these two?
Yes, this is comprehensible. But what is the restriction if I do a conditional planning?
No restriction. Who is restricting? It's just you cannot claim it a natural. We have to stop claiming it as a natural. If suppose I'm using a specs and I'm claiming that I talk about so nature cure and all those stuff, so the specs is natural. Isn't that irrational?
Correct. So what do you mean by planning is restricting?
Yeah, planning is restricting the natural movement. Whenever we plan, we have a target to achieve.
Correct.
And that target is always an imaginary goal to be achieved. That cannot be called as achievement in otherwise in a neutral space. That's under a lot of condition. I have started considering that this point is an achievement of life, is a success.
So for my case, it's not an achievement, right? It's not something to be proud of. It's just will be, I'll be more without pain and something like that, right?
Yeah, everybody will claim that. Everybody will claim before any intervention, will claim some or other reason to support the conditional approach whatsoever. And let's identify that this is not natural. This is a conditional approach.
Correct.
Let's start with that understanding. Yeah, I think minute is left. So we'll continue on the topic in the group or otherwise. Right, Basabdi, you want to say something? A few seconds are left.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. Let's continue in the group. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.